In the last phone call that Savanah Soto ever had with her father, she talked about how excited she was to give her dad the Christmas gifts that she bought for him. But little did her dad know this was the last conversation that he would ever have with his daughter. Sadly, Savanah was never able to give her father those Christmas gifts. Now, well over a month after this situation happened, Savanah's father received another phone call. This time, it was from Matthew's father. And Matthew's father told Savanah's father that he had something for him, something to give him. And what he gave Savanah's father turned out to be the Christmas gifts that Savanah was so excited to give him. Now, I could talk about this, but I don't think I could do this topic justice. I don't think I could properly convey the emotions that Savanah's father must be going through. So instead of telling you what happened, let's go ahead and hear from the man himself, and then I'll be back with more thoughts of my own.
You just received Savanah's Christmas present that you were looking forward to opening. What is it, and how does it make you feel that after over a month, you were able to finally see what she got you, because it was the last conversation you had with her?
Yes, actually that same day this happened, we spoke earlier that day, and I told her I was at work. I was going to reach out to her when I got off. I never heard from her since. She had just told me she wanted to give me my gifts for Christmas because she was going to get induced that Saturday, and I never got to talk to her again. So a month later, here we are, and I finally got my gift. Matthew's father reached out to me yesterday and said that he wanted to give me something. He didn't tell me what it was, but I kind of felt it was a good thing, you know. So he reached out to me. We made up yesterday. He gave me these gifts. These will be the last gifts I'll receive from my daughter, you know. And it's going to mean a lot to me. It means a lot to me. I'm going to put them up. And every year Christmas comes around, I'll take them out, you know, as a memory from my heart. I love them.
Did you know that it was going to be a t-shirt and memorabilia of, you know, a bike that you like to ride all the time?
I kind of figured it was going to be something with Harley, you know, but I got surprised with 3. I thought it was just going to be a shirt, you know, but she surprised me with this for the wall, my t-shirt, and a Harley mug. My t-shirt was wrapped up in that box, inside that box. And it's going to be hard, you know. It's hard every day. You just got to be strong, and she's not suffering, you know. She's in a better place. One day we'll be there, you know. We'll reunite together again.
How does it make you feel that Matthew's father reached out to you and really he didn't have to do this and show you? He could have easily done whatever with the present, but he clearly knew it was for you because it said your name and all that kind of stuff.
He knew it had to get to me because of my daughter, for my daughter. That's what she wanted, and that's what he did. And I appreciate that, you know. Him and I been communicating, and we're going to continue communicating because that's the right thing. I know my daughter, his son, would want that, you know, and we're going to continue talking, you know.
I know that the families have been, you know, there's been tension, but because of, you know, everything, the time that's passed, and now that everything is kind of settled and people are behind bars and that's going, you seem to think that the families are going to unite and just put the differences aside. And
I can only speak from my side of the family. You know, we will continue talking to them. I think that's the right thing to do, you know. I'm sure they would want that. My daughter would want that. And I have nothing against them, you know. She loved him. They loved each other, you know. They were going to have a baby together. And all I know, they'll never come back to us. and they're going to be missed every day.
When you saw the people arrested for your daughter's murder and your grandson's murder, what went through your mind? Did you picture that?
I just pictured somebody different. I didn't picture them. I really didn't. But I do want the death penalty, you know. They're still breathing. My family ain't. So that's what I'm aiming for. Hopefully that's what they get. They deserve that.
Have investigators or anyone reached out to you, let you know when the next time in court is going to be, when you guys...
They haven't reached out to us yet. I'm going to give it about another week or so. I'm going to contact the detective, Mr. Goodwin. Hopefully he can let me know what's going on. I mean, as far as the hearings, and is there any else involved, and take it from there.
Or the district attorney's office?
Or district, yes ma'am, district attorneys as well.
Anything else that you want to share with me? Anything you want to let viewers know that it's obviously been a story that's really resonated with the community, and really whenever we do a story about Savanah and her baby, people want to know. They want to know how they can help. They want to know how your family is doing.
I want to say families who've gone through this due to gun violence, streets, I know it's hard, just be strong and just take it one day at a time, but hopefully we all can get together, and whoever's gone through this, we maybe get together, make something happen, for the future, for the next generation or something.
And you said you're going to try and start a nonprofit, right, in Savanah's name? Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to start that probably about a month from now. I know it's going to be a process, And as for we're going to do something for Ethan also. We're going to call it the Ethan Project. And, it'll fall in place within time, Hopefully it touches others, for the future,
Okay. And when you opened it, did the shirt or anything smell like Savanah? Because sometimes, right, when you...
It had her scent. I smelled it. Made me tear, It really did. But this is something I'm going to put up, take care of. When Christmas comes around, this is what I'll be taking out.
These true crime stories are always a roller coaster of emotions. And as quickly as a story gains popularity, often it seems as if these cases just fall off the face of the earth. And I always wonder, how does this affect the families of these victims psychologically? How does it affect them emotionally and mentally? Because as someone who sometimes covers true crime, it almost feels like there's someone there, this invisible force there, flicking an on and off switch. Because one day, a case will come out of nowhere and it will become the most popular news story in the world, or at least in America. And then, overnight, just as quickly as these cases gain popularity, just as quickly as millions of people start talking about a case, all of a sudden, sometimes these cases just fall off the face of the earth. You never hear about these cases again. The mainstream media never updates you. You never hear anything again. And that's what happens so often in the cases that I cover. And it kind of happened with this Savanah Soto case. I wonder, how does this affect the families? Because it must be a roller coaster. One day it seems like the whole world is concerned about your daughter or your son or a family member of yours that got killed. It seems like the whole world is there concerned. And then, within the drop of a dime, like a flip of a switch, all of a sudden you wake up the next day and no one's talking about it anymore. It's almost as if these hundreds of thousands of people just disappeared overnight. All of the curiosity they had about the case, all of the questions they had, it just goes away overnight. And I think that has to do a number on these families. You know, finding out that your loved one was killed, that's got to be crazy, right? It's got to send you through a whirlwind emotionally and mentally. And then you add on all of the attention that some of these cases get. You know, you go from one day hanging out with a loved one to the next day they're dead, and everyone on the internet, perfect strangers, are all talking about it. And then you wake up one day and all of a sudden no one's talking about it anymore. Does it make you feel as if no one ever really cared? Does it make you feel as if, oh, people no longer care about this victim or that victim? How does it make the families feel? I think sometimes these families don't want the attention that these cases bring. But it's got to be kind of like a shell shock. It's got to be shocking to one day have people picking through all of this information. One day it seems like the whole world is trying to solve this case to help you. And then the next day, it's almost as if these people never even knew you existed. As you know, I still have a lot of questions about the Savanah Soto case. How was this crime pulled off so quickly? How were they killed and their bodies dumped so quickly? What was the connections? What was the relationship between the killer or the killers and the victims? There's so many questions that are still unanswered, but it doesn't seem like there's a push to get those questions answered anymore. And I understand, just as well as anyone else, that at a certain point you kind of have to move on. And as a content creator, and as someone who covers cases and stories like this, we can only do so much. We can only cover so much. And when you reach a point where it seems like there's just radio silence on a case, how much more can you really say? You don't want to speculate too much. But I always just found it weird how one day the whole internet can be going wild about a case and everyone's acting emotional. People are, pretending to cry and all of this stuff. And then the next day it's like, oh, it's almost as if this case never existed within a snap of a finger. I don't know if I guess the mainstream media, the people, the powers that be, I don't know. It's almost as if it's decided, okay, today is the day that we're just never going to talk about this case again. Now, I know that the court dates for Christopher and Ramon have been pushed back to April. So hopefully, eventually, at some point, some of our questions get answered. I know that there's some things going on behind the scenes, but as far as any other updates go, people have been asking me. It's been basically radio silence until now. We've heard from Savanah's father, and Matthew's father recently spoke out as well. But other than that, there's nothing. But for now, let me know your thoughts about all of this down in the comments below. While you're down there, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you could do so via CashApp. I'll have my CashApp in the pinned comment. You could also help this channel for free by liking, subscribing, ringing the notification bell, and all of that good stuff. But with that being said, I'll talk to you all very soon in the next one.